Move to question 2 and call on the Honourable Member for Rushen, Dr Haywood.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. I'd like to ask the Minister for Education, Sport and Culture what arrangements are in place to ensure safe working conditions in educational settings, and what consultation has been undertaken with the unions on this.
Call on the Minister for Education, Sport and Culture to reply.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. There is a statutory requirement under the Health and Safety at Work Act 1974, as applied to the Isle of Man, for an employer to put in place arrangements for the health, safety and welfare of its employees and visitors to its places of work. Whilst having overall responsibility for health and safety within the department through the health and safety policy, the Chief Executive Officer delegates the day-to-day operation and management of health, safety and welfare to the UCM principal, head teachers of schools and other heads of educational services. Through the Department of Education, Sport and Culture's health and safety policy, these roles and responsibilities are outlined. While specific arrangements are made by each particular education setting to suit their own circumstances and location, there is training for a number of topics such as first aid, fire safety, specialist teaching subjects, specific training for design and technology, physical education and science, with further specialist training for the control of substances hazardous to health, and radiation supervision and protection training. There is also specific training for safe handling and positive handling for staff working with those who have special educational needs. Training is also in place for conducting off-site activities. Specific responsibilities and duties are outlined in the Health and Safety at Work General Health and Safety Policy, which has been drawn up to cover all aspects of health, safety and welfare management, giving the Department of Education, Sport and Culture a mechanism for setting policy, planning and implementation, measuring performance and reviewing arrangements. All employees have responsibilities and duties for health and safety and welfare. The policy document enables all to understand what is expected in assisting the Department to meet its legal obligations to apply best practice. My Department continues to develop and implement procedures, safe systems of work and risk assessments which will ensure, so far as reasonably practicable, the health, safety and welfare of all who may be affected in and by the delivery of its services. Work is ongoing to establish a joint unions health and safety committee. The purpose of this committee will be to allow for cross-educational setting health and safety discussions with a view to informing health and safety policy improvement for the future. Thank you, Mr Speaker.
Thank you very much. Supplementary question, Dr Haywood.
Thank you, Mr Speaker, and I thank the Minister. I especially thank her for the news that the work is ongoing to create a health and safety committee that works with the unions, because in the adjacent island there's legislation that supports those committees, and I think it's a really important thing that just because we haven't necessarily legislated for it here, it isn't a good idea. Would the Minister agree with me that joint safety committees that includes teachers and school staff who are union reps will tap into their undoubted expertise and experience in the safety hazards that they're encountering in their workplace, and that health and safety management in the education workplace is going to benefit reduced accident rate, reduced sickness and to increase staff well-being?
Minister to reply.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. And yes, I do agree with the Honourable Member. All staff should be involved in reporting any situations with regards to safety within the school environment. They all have a duty to do that, and I am looking forward to the work that is ongoing to ensure that we have this joint health and safety committee.